Good morning, everyone. Well, it's 28 degrees on April the 2nd. I never had a single freeze in my California garden in 8 years, so I have a lot to learn. I'm surrounded by my seedlings, and I have more things started in the house, and I just wanted to give you a look around and show you where things stand. So don't go anywhere. First stop is the rolling shelving unit. I located this right in front of the only heat vent in this garage. When I first saw the heat vent in this garage, I thought, gosh, that's going to be a waste of energy, but I am so glad it's there because it keeps this whole space from freezing. I've got a very high ceiling in here for a garage, I'm told. I've never had a garage that I've been able to work in or spend any time in, so this is exciting for me. This is a 3 shelving unit, 3 layers that I have various stages of seedlings. It's a constant shifting of plants as they're developing and growing, and I start them in the house. We'll go inside and look at that. Actually, it was getting very warm, so it was no big deal to bring the small seedlings out here. But now we've had this cold snap, so I've got some very young things out here. But for example, you know, this is kind of an odd size, and so I have to have it under a light that's a little bit higher. So you're always making these adjustments because young seedlings really should be about 2 inches underneath the light. Plants grow at various stages, you know, and when you have them potted up, so 2 inches the light would be here, whereas the light might be here on something you just started that just germinated. On this shelf, I have brassicas, chard. I have, what is that? Dill. Yeah, I've had trouble germinating hyssop. I don't know why. Shiso, I tried that, did not germinate. I've got some basil and dill growing in there. And I've got more brassicas down here. I've got the cardinal climber, which butterflies are supposed to love. This is Zinga hibiscus. I've got snap peas on the bottom, more brassicas, celery. I think I have some paper whites down here. They had been sitting just in a cup for a year, and I stuck them in a pot. One of the leaves bent, but 3 are growing out of this one pot. I kind of hate to put them in the yard because I don't want them to kind of get lost in that big yard. I may put them in a pot. And down here I'm starting mullein, which is a great medicinal plant. You have to keep it evenly moist the whole time and under the light to germinate. So thankfully the instructions were on the container. These are the fabulous grow lights from Grow It LED. I love these guys. Ooh, that was a fly, and it almost got onto the sticky pad. I have these, you know, you have so many gnats. I think they come out of the potting soil, I really do, because all of a sudden you've got gnats. Where did they come from? So I use these sticky traps that go right in with the seedlings, and I have caught so many bugs. I love these Grow It LED lights that I found. It's a company in California, a family-owned company. They make them in red and black, and I of course love red. I have a red car, a red truck, and red grow lights. So I have 4 24s and 1 48. I wanted another 48. That would have been so much better, but they were out and I was impatient and didn't want to wait. So you have to string them up differently, and I'll show you the setup inside. But let's go over here and I'll show you what is patiently waiting to be planted into the garden. One of the things that I've been experiencing is that as I've been hardening off all of my seedlings and plants, some of which I brought from California, I take them out during the day, sometimes even in the rain, get a little rainwater, and bring them back in at night. Well, that's a lot of bending over. And I'm not 18, so I have put a few things on rollers. Those things are just dying to get planted, and I need advice about where they should go and how they'll do best, and I need planting advice. So I'm hoping to get Barefoot Farmer over here and say, put it there, Put it there, put it there. We can dig the holes, we can get it planted, but where? That is the big question for me. I had a very small garden in California. If you look back, you can see 600 or 700 videos of my garden in California. It was like a puzzle piece. It was just like, where do I have this much space to stick another tree? It was just crazy. Here I've got all this space, so I can actually space my trees 10 feet apart. That would be like half of my garden. So anyway, I need advice on that. I purchased 2 pear trees, and now I'm hearing all of this negative information about the Bradford pear. I've got a big Bradford pear in my front yard that I'm considering taking down because it is creating all these babies all in the forest behind. It's very invasive, I'm told, and it cross-pollinates with pear trees that you're trying to grow to eat the pears. I have been trying to get a lot of things on wheels so I can easily roll it out and roll it back in. And yesterday, Justin put together this cart I ordered. It saves me bending over, let's see, bending over 6 times, let's see, 12 times morning and night. It keeps me from having to bend over. I have all of these tiles that I have purchased, and I am going to be doing more work in the garage, but I got it cleaned up a little bit yesterday, and I thought, let's do this video while things are swept. Here's the wagon, and here's the rolling cart. So I have 6 trays of lettuces, celery, spinach, and brassicas that all need to be in the garden. In fact, the lettuce is already needing to be harvested and eaten, and I may eat some of this today. This was actually 1 gutter cut in half, and then we bought the end caps. These are pretty inexpensive to do this. I have snow peas and snap peas growing in here, 2 different varieties. I saw a great video, and I am trying this for the first time. And these are the cannas that I bought in Illinois, and they're absolutely gorgeous. There are several plants in here, and I'm thinking I'm supposed to separate these, so I need some instruction on that. I mean, I've never separated and planted out cannas, and I've never planted anything in zone 7. So back here I have, remember all the potatoes? They're all coming up. They look gorgeous. You can see these were the purple potatoes I planted in the recent video. Look at this one. Look at that. Wow. These are the radishes. I don't actually see any. Oh wait, I take that back. I've got a radish. I cannot tell how big it is. These are cherry bells. You will remember in the video where Michael, who was helping me, put these insulation panels in the doors, and it really made a difference. He was saying that a lot of people think that this is going to make it really temperate. These panels only bring up the temperature 10 to 15 degrees, but that can really make the difference in making it feel comfortable in here to work, especially when you have a heating vent. So it has warmed up to 37 degrees, and I am going to take my plants out because the sun will be hitting the driveway by now, and I think the plants will be very happy. So let me hit that button and get the door up and roll most everything out. Whew, that's chilly. See how easy? Okay, we're in my dining room slash seeding room. My setup is good, but my mess is over on this side. But before I get into that, I wanted to give a big shout out to all the new subscribers who have come over from Scott Head at Black Gumbo Southern Gardening channel, and also Mary at Mary's Nest. And I just want to welcome everyone to my channel. I'm so excited to be here in Tennessee trying this whole new experiment on a very large property. The winter went by like that for me, and we spent 2 or 3 weeks just getting this fireplace to where I like it, and then dealing with water issues, which thankfully I have Justin here helping me now, and he is so well-rounded. He knows about so many different things. I am just so blessed that I managed to see his post on Nextdoor. If you guys are new in an area, I highly recommend that you check out Nextdoor. Check it out for your area. People post things that are relevant to your area, you know, from lost dogs to cows. Here it's to cows in the road, or things for sale, people looking for work, recommendations on a dentist, crime and safety, weather. People are very connected on Nextdoor, and I highly recommend you use that. As I mentioned outside, these wonderful Grow It LED lights. This is the 48, and I've got another 24 back here. You're going to want to get carabiners. They don't come with the light. A carabiner is really essential for getting the level right, especially if you're not hanging from a shelving unit where you have an S-hook. Outside, I'm just using regular S-hooks. And this is just one size. They were out of the various sizes. The end of the housing has holes in it, so you can actually tilt the lights up if you want a direction. It also comes with or without the reflector, so you want to check that out. You can use the S-hook to hang from a shelving unit, but in a case like here where I'm hanging it from a big shelving unit here to just a bookshelf over here, which may not even remain here after this growing season, trying to get this level without a carabiner is tough, because a carabiner can really go like increments of a quarter, half an inch, each little click of the carabiner, so you can really get this level. I've got 4 total heat mats, so not everything can be on a heat mat. Underneath here I have 2 more trays. One thing I'm excited about that did start, and my peppers are coming up, but look at this, my artichoke. So far I've got 4 out of 6, and if I get 4 artichoke plants, I'll be perfectly happy. This table has been indispensable. I clear it off if my son and fiance come and we eat here. Otherwise, I'm using it for all of my seating because, first of all, it's warm in here. I can sit down. This surface of this table, it doesn't matter if it gets dirty. And I've got one more 24-inch grow light. I haven't decided where this is going. I was going to hang it on this side over here, but since nothing's coming up, I don't know. Let's see. These are the seeds I'm still going to plant. I have a lot of sunflower seeds. I can't wait to plant sunflower seeds, but those are going directly in the ground. These are the seeds that I actually planted. So I got all that organized. It was just all piled up. So I've separated what I have planted, what I still want to plant, and the things that I have decided not to plant for whatever reason have gone back into my storage bins. These are the storage bins. Mary mentioned this on Mary's Nest. This one is a little different. This one does not have the containers. These just have the slats, but it's the same difference. It's just that I have so many seeds. Those little containers, I would probably have 4 of those containers just for tomatoes. It's the same company. These containers are made in the United States, which you know I'm big on. So if you want to order these, I do have these on my Amazon storefront. Okay, we're back outside and the plants look like they're doing well. I think it's going to get up to be about 46 degrees today. I just wanted to show you the beds, which are all absolutely perfect and waiting for something to be planted in them. Okay, so you can see I have 8 beautiful beds that have been completely reworked, lifted up, leveled, and made from 8x8 to 6x8. If you're building your own raised beds, you really shouldn't have beds that are 6 feet wide. You want something that you can work in from the side and you can reach to the middle easily. Well, it's definitely a stretch to reach to the middle in a 6-foot bed. You know, this is a hillside terraced garden. I can't push out that way because I've got blueberries planted down there. I needed more space here for a walkway between the fence because these beds literally came up to within 8 inches of the asphalt. This is where I'm going to need my fence, and I still want to be able to walk down through here. I need this much space, at least 18 inches, to stand here and work and pick all those fabulous strawberries. So this is what we came up with. I didn't want to lose too much. I gave up 2 feet on each bed, but I came up in height, which theoretically I might be able to pack more things in. Not sure about that. But right now I have the 3 beds of strawberries. These 2 beds were overflowing. First of all, the beds were only this high to start with, and the strawberries, you know, put out tendrils and attach, and they had really pushed out all over these 2 beds. All of those extra strawberries that were here and encroaching out there all went into the 3rd bed over there. So everything over there has just been transplanted. So we will wait and see how they do. I think they're going to do okay though. Oh my gosh, I'm just noticing all these trees leafing out. Wow! I had to prioritize the cistern. That's where I'm going to get my rainwater for my garden. Right now it's offline, and there are a number of working parts to this system, some of which are not working. And so Justin has assessed the situation, and he has gone off to buy some parts. That building is 25 feet long and probably 7 feet deep. The water's not that high because at some point the mortar gave way on the side, and there's a hole in it, and it leaks after a certain point. That must mean it holds a great deal more. Now that's enough water to run the house and everything else, and I'm sure that's what the original people who built this house in 87, 88 were living on, because they didn't have city water out here. I want to go back to that system and get that all online. This is my first year, and I know there's going to be some dry periods, but I don't know how dry. Now that I have really deep raised beds, how will that affect drainage? All these things have to be learned, because another plan that I have is to develop a big garden down below. For dry periods, I want to have water coming gravity fed off of the cistern down to the other garden, and also to the greenhouse, which would be probably over there about halfway down. I am looking at greenhouse plans online, trying to figure it out. It's a big issue how to heat a greenhouse. I can obviously accomplish everything that I need in terms of starting seedlings in here and then harden them off the way I'm doing it, bringing them right out to the garden. So the greenhouse to me would be more for me to be able to grow citrus, in which case you need a heated greenhouse. Also on the to-do list is to rebuild this. Well, I just have some T-posts with fencing over it right now, but I have 4 established blackberry vines on the second one. Going to preserve those, build an arbor around it that is twice as big, going that way. All of that is going to be encompassed in a deer fence around this. This is all going to have a nice layer of wood chips, and then we are going to move on to the garden, develop the orchard, figure out where the elderberry bushes go. I've got to figure out where to plant a bunch of bulbs, and I can't wait for you to see these perfectly manicured soil beds full of vegetables. I just don't want to put them out if we're going to have another frost, and I don't want to put them out for them to be all nibbled on and eaten up. Now, some of these plants are looking a little droopy. Can't imagine they need water because they got rained on, but it may be just too intense, and I may need to pull them back inside. Just think about all the work that it took to create this many plants at this level of health, because things can go wrong at any time. Maybe you put them out in the sun before they're ready. The other day I came out, I had put all of these plants, even the little ones, I had put out just to get a very little bit of gentle rain, and I came out and you know, some of the plants are like, what did you do to me? I wasn't ready for this. First, you have to be observant. You have to go out, you have to see what's eating my plants. Do they need more water? Are they getting too much? Is the drainage bad? Do they need more amendments, fertilizer? You have to make corrections, and then you have to observe and see how your plants are doing. So those are the two late bloomer lessons I'm giving you for today. Be vigilant and observant. Those things are always balanced together in a garden. And thanks for watching this channel, liking the videos, sharing them, and if you are a late bloomer like me, I hope you'll subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and scroll down and click all so you won't miss a thing right here on my new Tennessee homestead. When Justin gets the system working, I will be using rainwater out of this hose.